In the heart of Africa, where the burning sun shines on the sand dunes, an epic story full of fear and excitement began of 5 friends named Kamal, Aqua, Otandi, Chaco, and Mbete. A legend of an ancient treasure that was said to be hidden in a cursed cave led them on an adventurous journey. Breathtaking battles with otherworldly creatures. Their path led them to the mouth of a terrible cave. Absolute darkness covered the mouth of the cave, and the smell of dampness and oldness was in the air. Carefully, they lit the torches and stepped into the absolute darkness of the cave. Fighting Omni. As soon as they entered the cave, they encountered the first supernatural being. Omni, a shadow-like creature with glowing eyes that hid in the absolute darkness of the cave. Suddenly, Omni charged towards them with the speed of lightning and wind, filling the absolute darkness of the cave with a mournful and terrifying wail. Otundi, who was familiar with charms and spells, shouted a word he had learned from a fairy. Suddenly, a dazzling light emanated from the tip of Otandi's staff, pushing Omni back. Using this magical light, Otandi guided Omni to the abyss of darkness, and the shadowy creature disappeared into the absolute darkness. Fighting Jimbi. Along the way, they reached a huge black stone gate. Strange patterns were carved on the door, and a sense of panic and anxiety rippled through the cave. Otundi illuminated the patterns on the door by reading a word from an ancient book that was several thousand years old in his hand. Suddenly, the door opened with a deafening sound, opening the way to continue. But as soon as they passed through the gate, they encountered a giant creature named Jimbi. Jimbi, the war god of the lost clan, was a giant creature with stone skin and a fiery sword. Jimbi's eyes were burning like fire, and a terrible moan came out of his mouth. Aqua bravely faced Jimbi and chained the creature using the science she learned from the goblin world. Fighting Mbembe. A battle. Deep in the swamp. Their path ended in a dark and stinking swamp, as if the dust of death was sitting on it. Chaco, who was familiar with the flora and fauna of Africa, picked a plant from the cave wall and poured its extract into the swamp water. Miraculously, the water in the swamp hardened and made a passage for them. But suddenly, a ghostly spirit named Mbembe emerged from the depths of the swamp. Mbembe, with a mournful and terrible wail, targeted Mbete and tried to drag him into the depths of the swamp. Mbete, who was a skilled hunter, bravely faced Mbembe. Using his bow and arrow, he tried to hit Mbembe, but the ghostly spirit disappeared into the absolute darkness of the cave and attacked Mbembe from another angle. In the meantime, Kamal remembered a story he had heard from an old witch. The old wizard had told him that Mbembe's spirit was fond of soothing music and melodic tunes. Kamal stared at Ambet with worried eyes, and suddenly a thought came to his mind. He asked Aqua to play her reed and play a soothing tune in the darkness of the cave. Playing a reed, Aqua played a sad yet soothing tune in the cave. As soon as the note of the reed echoed in the air, Mbembe stopped attacking and listened to the note. Kamal and Mbete took advantage of this opportunity and slowly approached Mbembe. Suddenly, Kamal struck Mbembe with Jimbi's sword, which had a charm that could bind spirits. Mbembe died with a mournful wail, and his soul rested in eternal rest. Aqua's reed song echoed in the cave, and an eerie silence reigned over the swamp. Treasure riddles. The treasure of the cave was full of ancient and magical objects, each of which had its own mystery and spell. To get each of these objects, they had to solve puzzles. The first puzzle, a piece of stone with strange patterns on it that read, "My key is hidden in the dark, where the sunlight has never reached." Solving the puzzle, Following their shadow deep into the cave, they found a key that was made of dark stone and could only be seen in total darkness. The second puzzle, an ivory box with an image of a bird carved on it and a magical lock inside. Solving the puzzle, they opened the magic lock by playing the song they heard from the cave birds. The third and fourth riddles, two stone statues, each holding a sword in one hand and a scale in the other. Solving the puzzle, by placing Jimby's sword in the scale of the first statue and the herbal extract that Chaco gave them in the scale of the second statue, they opened a secret path to the main treasure room. In the main treasure room, they encountered amazing objects, each with magical and otherworldly powers. Crown of the Sun, a crown of gold that was enchanted with a magical spell that gave the wearer unparalleled leadership and courage. Moon Necklace, a silver necklace that was enchanted with a magical charm and gave the wearer the power of healing and peace. Star Bracelet, a diamond bracelet that was enchanted with a magical spell that gave the wearer unparalleled powers of divination and wisdom. Emerald Wand, an emerald wand that was enchanted with a magical spell that gave the wielder the power to control nature and animals. Return to the village. By solving puzzles and overcoming challenges, they find the lost treasure. But the real treasure was the experiences and friendships they had made during this adventurous journey. They returned to their village with the treasure and shared their wealth with the villagers. The story of their bravery and intelligence was passed down through the generations, and the cursed cave became a place where people went to show their bravery. End. This epic story, full of fear and excitement, depicts the adventure of 5 brave friends deep in Africa. By going through difficult challenges, they encounter otherworldly creatures and overcome them with their intelligence and courage. The treasure they find at the end of the journey is not just gold and jewels, but also the unique experiences and friendships they have made along the way.